Hello. Hi, I'm Patricia McNeely. I'm an illumined Blu-ray twin flame from Chicago, Illinois. How are you today? I'm here once again with the map, and thanks to everyone who watched my video, and thanks for writing to me to let me know you're on the map. I do know that you're on the map, and some of my previous videos, I have actually had a lot of the places checked. So apologies to anyone if you felt that you weren't on here. There's a lot of you on there, almost too many to mention. What I tend to have are where I've actually had some kind of interaction with someone in my physical life over Skype, and that's what I'm depicting here. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is Mercury going direct. So in many ways, the world, our globe, our world actually is reflecting so many things that have happened out in the cosmos, on other planets. History has repeated itself, and it's been brought right here. And yet, how do you correct it? How do you right the wrongs? How do you give back everything that belongs to the rightful owners? How do you do that? So I want to let you know it's happening, okay? And part of how this happens is through the grid work that many people, mostly Blu-ray twin flames, but sometimes not a Blu-ray twin flame couple, has been doing certain parts of grid work, setup, cleanup, etc. And what I want to tell you is that, for example, through my lineage, I'm here in Chicago, but I have connections to Florida, to Mexico, and I have a connection that kind of goes straight down here. I'm also of Irish descent, so yes, the UK. And I know through past lives that I've had connections here, I've had connections here. You know, so these connections extend for a lot of people through both your genetic DNA and your spiritual DNA, your angelic side. So you've got your human side and your angelic side. You're all human angelics. That is what twin flames are. We've become that. And yet we've been disentangling things quite a bit here. So I want to let you know about a dream that I had. I had this dream about 2 weeks ago, and as it happens, this was not just a dream. This was me in an actual place. We were actually in what felt like the 10th dimensional level of Uranus. And bear with me here because this was my vision. But what I want to share with it is how it played out, because being in an actual place, it takes on a feel that's more than a dream. There's dreams, and then there's visions, and then there's actually experiencing yourself in a place. And many Blu-rays have had this experience over their lifetime from the time of being a child. You just know you're in some other place. You know it how? You know by how it feels. Many times your body will tell you what that place is. So in this dream, I was a part of a group that was about to do what felt like a reverse evacuation. We were going to bring all of the people back into the towns and the cities. And I was a part of the transport team. Now, this is not unlike quite a bit of what I've been doing in my night times over the past several years, being a transporter. I'm a prototyper, I'm a transmuter, I'm also a transporter. My energy is that of the chariot, just like the chariot card. I'm the charioteer. Now, this has been a group effort as well, meaning I'm not the only one doing this. I'm not the only one feeling and experiencing this. This has included a lot of you, especially a lot of you Blu-rays, and the Blu-ray couples who are the rod and staff unions. So we're coming up to a point here where a lot of that work has been done. What I want to let you know in the dream is that it was twilight. almost everyone was asleep and by the side of the road. Now, last November, I did a video that I called The Dreamers Will Be Awakening. And just a week ago, I did a video that talked about the big awakening. And this is a continuation of that to let you know what is happening. So the interesting thing in this actual occurrence, this happening where I was, because it's more than a dream, was that each person laying by the side of the road ready for the transport to pick them up, they were each covered with a red blankie. Not just covered and sleeping like this. They were shrouded in their own individual red blankie. It was what I felt was the red blanket of passion. This was each and every person's individual passion. And what did this mean? This means that everyone will have their own passion in their own union. No need to hang on to anyone. Nobody hanging on to your union. So there's still going to be false energies and emotions and people, places, things that fall right out of the emotional body as it's been connected to the heart. Now, this is happening worldwide, but as you can see some of the groupings here, it tends to be in the most populous areas. Parts of Europe are waking up. Other parts of Europe are waking up. Parts of Africa are waking up. Parts of South America are continuing their wake-ups. A lot of people have been awake for a long time. There are people who have been holding and holding and holding and expecting for this time. People in Hawaii, Tahiti, New Zealand, United States, and Asia, the Middle East. So nobody's off here. Southeast Asia, all of these countries here, Australia, Japan, and yes, Russia, everybody's a part of it. Nobody is excluded. Even if people think they may have excluded themselves and said, I can't do this, I can't keep up with it, you're still a part of it, and you will still be the benefactor. How does this happen? So it came to me as we were in this place that we were about to really wake up each and every individual, set things to where they could easily start living their lives and stepping into their new beingness. So who is this mostly for right now? So I want to talk to you about that as well. Let me get this. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's start with this. All of the bad memories of things that have happened out in the cosmos are getting archived. The emotions are floating to the top, and your job is get the lower emotions up and out. So as we continue with this Mercury, Mars, all these retrogrades this year, but as Mercury goes direct, what this first group of people, and when I say people, many of them are twin flame couples who are grown-ups. However, they've been children and they've been the lost children. They've been children that have been lost or somehow decimated on other planets. They've been taken captive, sequestered, all kinds of things have happened. Abuse. And these are the people that have been interpreted as being asleep, not waking up, lost souls, and detached spirits. But they are waking up, and specifically from Aldebaran. Aldebaran is the giant red star in the constellation of Taurus. It's in the eye of Taurus. Lyra. Now, I had this 2 years ago. I was asked to chaperone a group of kids from my son's school, and as we went to the campground, each of the cabins had a name. It was named after some constellation. There was Sagitta. There was Capricorn. Guess what mine was? The one I was assigned to was Lyra. Talk about a bumpy night of releasing and purging and getting things out and keeping an eye on the children. But that was part of my task, and the universe set it up. I think sometimes these things only happen to Blu-rays. I know they happen to a lot of people, but I know for sure those types of setups where you can just get something easily accomplished, you're in the right place at the right time, that happens a lot for Blu-rays. Lyra, Orion, this is where a lot of the initial damage started to devolve and affect the psyche. And Orion, Andromeda, and then brought here to this solar system, Jupiter, Neptune. Neptune is a place that many of the lost souls, the lost children, and detached spirits, many have reintegrated into a physical form of living. Yes, etheric bodies, not dense physical bodies like this. I'll talk more about that down the line. Neptune, Venus, and Mars. And this is especially going to be people that were born under the signs of Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So very much from March to September, if your twin flame were born during this time, you will be awakened or awakened further if you've had some inkling, some experiences. But you're all adjusted and ready. The lowest emotions that you're going to be releasing, they've already been released last year. Things like really deep-seated stuff. So what you're left with is the emotions, lower emotions. These are going to be esteem issues. These are going to be things that people think about themselves, that they've been told or taught about themselves. It's going to be escapism, especially through drinking of alcohol to excess, drugs, possibly abusing pharmaceuticals, and also smoking anything. Escapism, feelings and emotions of actual abandonment, which may seem absurd in this life because some of these people, they're not abandoned and their twin flame is here, but that old residue is coming out. Abandonment, disappointments, neglect. Sometimes it shows up as actually neglecting themselves. They don't take care of things, or they get distracted too easily with other things. It's going to be insufficient nurturing. So if you were a lost child and you were pulled away from your tribe, pulled away from your people, taken captive, maybe before you were weaned from a parent. And sometimes you see a reflection of this in baby animals. A baby animal is taken or the mother is somehow hurt or killed. And similar things have happened to angelics, where sometimes en masse taken, all kinds of stuff, including enslavement, including trafficking, trading, and the buck stops here. We are stopping it. The energetic of it has been peeled away. Now, I want to give you a idea here of, here is a twin flame couple, and she's saying to him, look, let's get her already. Look, my heart's ready. I've wrapped everything up around my solar plexus. I've got all of my connections. I've got all of my cosmic connections here to Earth and all of the planets that we've ever been on. I'm holding it. Come on. Let's reconnect ourselves. And she is connected. It's not that she's not connected. However, he, being the masculine, and this is with not just men, it can be a lesbian, it can be a gay man, it can be a heterosexual man, it can be a transgender male. If you're primarily the holder of the masculine energy, guess who you are? You're the charioteer in many cases. And you're the one with the connections to the heart that actually will be gathering cosmic connections. You're holding them. So for people that say, well, I'm giving up on my twin, That's what you're giving up on. You're giving up on that. So I want to just, I have a little thing here to show you, of course. And if you envision that collectively the children have been brought to a certain level, and then the parental energy comes along, and his connections to the heart of his true love, be it female, male-bodied, or female-bodied, and is able to scoop up the children. We've gotten them to this platform. Now we're scooping them up, we've ascended them, and we are setting them down very gently. There they are, they've got everything that they need. Every single color is in them. Every single one. And they can get together, because what will happen next, and this is for a lot of you out there, we're going to light it up. When they get together and connect and twine, they will set everything spinning so quickly that other people's light body templates start lighting up. And they will wake up. So, if you are a twin flame and you have any awareness, you have your heading. You have the directional right in your heart. You keep moving forward on what you're supposed to do. We are, in addition to this, creating a change in hearts, in minds, and especially the mood. The entire mood of the planet. You know, one towards freedom, liberation, love, loving each other, caring for each other, but in new ways, where it's not a shocking drain on the union. We are reconnecting the cosmic heart, and we are reconnecting to homes. That means your cosmic homes. That means all of the favorite planets that you'll want to go back to. It means to people, and people thought to be lost forever. So if you've been pining for a child, or you have children, those may be your long-lost children from other lifetimes. That comes through a lot during my readings and sessions. I tend to feel, you know, what was the life, or what were the circumstances when that person had a child or lost a child, or why. There are reasons that your children may come through other people. And there's also reasons that people are not having children right now. And the focus needs to be the union. I will go on to say a few other things here. This weekend, in addition to Mercury going direct and all of the Gemini people getting back to having one demeanor and not two, and being one person for their twin flame, you will find that everything is starting to balance for them. They don't feel like they have to split themselves. The Cancers won't need to retreat into their little hard shells. The Taurus won't need to attack people. And the Leos, fiery that they are, won't need to set people on fire. And the Virgos, well, all of that watery emotional energy is going to feel safe to come forward. So when it comes to some of the other things that are happening here, what do you do with the lost children, the ones that only know what they know, and some people may be escaping through what I call drinking, smoking, or toking, or sometimes all three. There are people that are still escaping and avoiding, and they don't know who they are, and they're about to wake up. And those wake-ups take the form of their nice, tidy little life doing this. And they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, their life is going, oh my goodness, I just feel so unsafe, unstable. I can't get clarity. I'm confused. And why? Because the masculine is still being received, the feminine is still being received, It takes a very fine, delicate balancing for them to hold steady at times, take action at other times. And when it comes to what do you do to receive? Well, I have several of those exercises in my webinars to clear your channels, to clear out the mental and emotional confusion. The emotional body, as it's been attached to the ego mind, is actually you're parting ways with it. This is the last piece for a lot of you people. And over these next few months, things are going to get clearer and lighter and clearer, and you will have really direct communication from your own higher self. It takes saying goodbye to certain things. Okay, so let's talk about the masculine. This weekend here in the United States, it's Memorial Day weekend, where we remember and we've memorialized old battles, old strife, struggles, sometimes while turning a blind eye to the very troubles right within our own country. And people have been awarded medals. This is a music medal, by the way. This is not for war. But they've been awarded medals and they've been thanked. And there is thanks and gratitude necessary. There has been a need when in duality and in some of these other cosmic levels for defense, for protection, for going to get your own things back, especially your creations, your children. And this is continued where history has repeated itself and repeated itself to the point where we can't even sometimes recognize our own children. So what does happen with the masculine is they're frequently left with a residue of emotions. You know, they may feel things along the lines of some of these lower emotions, the bad memories, things that they've had to do, things that they didn't want to do, things that they were captured into, forced to fight for kings and countries that they didn't feel any allegiance to, things that were against their heart. And I know here in the United States, I myself, the masculine side of me, had some of this about 2 years ago where I felt, you know, things that were so foreign to me, so not vague, but they were not abstract either. It was a very intense emotion. You may feel things along the lines of, I'm taken for granted, nobody appreciates me, I've somehow done something terrible, but I don't know what it is. Everything is forgiven. All the karma is done. All of the karmic back and forth, that's done and finished. The emotion is what remains, and it's important to get the lower ones up and out so they don't continue to affect your union. You may say to yourself, how did I go from being this passionate person to now I'm somebody's parent and I don't even know how I ended up here? Was it really worth it? Was that, 3 minutes of quick sex worth this obligation that I have? And you may find yourself very surprised with those emotions. You may say to yourself, nobody appreciates me. I've got these kids and all I am, I've been relegated to the role of the provider, the person that drives the car. I'm the person that just goes to work. Where's my joy? Where's my fun? Where is my passion? All I've got is this medal to show for everything that I've done. I've done things too. And this is both men and women. I won't say it's only men. It is both genders. Women have sacrificed, men have sacrificed. People have been gone through punishments. People have been on the wrong side of history. And that's not their fault. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, here it is. You have your own passion, which is first and foremost your own personal passion. This is your love making, and all of your joy and passion with your twin flame. You're enveloped in it. It's been given back to you. No longer will your passion be used to fight for something that you don't have to. Drama does not equal passion. Fighting is not passion. So I had some of those same emotions a couple years ago on a couple of holidays, and there I was, all ready to start making stuff and having a great time, and it just hit me like a wave. And I said, the wind's right out of my sails on this one, and I don't understand why. Well, it is because of these old bad memories and the emotional baggage that goes with it. So, I'm going to talk here. The suspended animation that a lot of people feel like you've been in will move forward, and especially through this webinar, Universally Free to Fly. This one was specific for addressing addictions, drinking, smoking, if you feel that it messes with your union. If your twin is in a relationship, paying attention to other people, still engaging in 3D sex. This is a lot of what I talk about in this one. People say, how do I stop my twin? You know what? You have all the connections to be able to do so. And this is what I teach. I'm a teacher of the brand new 5th dimensional template for relationship with everything else. From in your union, inside your union, you two are relating to everything else, including children, work, everything else on this planet and everything else out in the universe. It has to be you two unto a world of itself. You two, your love is a world unto itself. How do you get it there? This webinar, I teach you through simple exercises to open your channels, to bring in and down your own higher essence, and bring up and out any of the bad memories and the emotions, the lower emotions. Get the lower emotions up and out. That's what I teach. And yes, I've been doing this myself. I haven't just showed up here for no reason. This is a part of my agreement to be able to teach this. I receive the information. It's usually disseminated over a couple of months, and I get the timings on things. There's another thing to talk about here. My Angel Time series, which shows you some of the exercises for free. If you have not gotten one of my webinars, check out Angel Time, because this is where I do walk you through some stuff. It's about a 10% slice of everything that I pack into the webinars. The webinars are very concise, they're very thorough, and not only that, I've got the connections because I'm a Blu-ray, and you are lovingly brought along so that you feel self-empowered. In other words, you get the light codes you need. You get the parts of the template. That is what I am helping with. I am helping with parts of the body template for these places, from these places, for the places you want to be able to go to, and you will. This year it's not done. This is where people really start coming together. They're going to start making new babies. They're going to be having new creations. There's going to be another wave of twin flame couples. So the next thing that I want to talk to you about, as we keep getting very, very real here, some people are getting very nervous that, whoa, this is really real now. It really is happening this year. Even at the same time that other people are saying, you know what, it's not happening in this life. And I'm not in charge of that. People are in charge of that themselves. What I will say is, I can't even tell that if you say that, How do you not know how ready your twin flame is? You don't know. I do find that out during readings. However, if you cannot get a reading or a session, start with this webinar, Daily Living in Multidimensionality. This is a good start and a good overview of what's going to be happening in 2017, because it will continue expanding. Learn your body and get finished preparing, and you will be ready. As I said a couple of while ago, if you're a Blu-ray, and if you identify as blue-green, you're a healed healer. You're going to be healed, and you can be. But I wrote this here, and I covered the same thing here with these horoscopes. Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. I wrote this a couple months ago. You have to become calm and hold steady. There's further awakenings. That's happening now. You will continue healing and sealing. And from March and April through June, you are winding down in 3 to 4D and becoming sovereign. It's through my webinars that you can learn how to master your own energies. Being a master of your energy doesn't mean that you are sending lightning bolts out of your fingertips. That's not what that means. Being a master of your energy means that you feel good. You're the one who is in control of how you feel, your mood, your mind, your heart, and your light body and your human body. And if something is affecting you, if your twin is going out and affecting you, if they don't get it and they don't understand that going to a bar every weekend is giving you a hangover, which does happen, that happens with people. If they don't understand that some of their actions, you can elevate and you can remove those old connections. That is what I talk about in my Universally Free to Fly webinar. Now, if you're a Blu-ray and you're fully expecting to be in union, and this is going to be some people with celebrity twin flames. If you have a twin flame in the public eye, this one here, Divine Lovers Cosmic Body Reconnection, that is going to have the tools and many of the things that you need in terms of what to do with your body so that you're ready, okay? My task, my job, my agreement that I've taken on is to teach. The teaching will continue. My background has been in teaching, and I'm good at it. But what I want to tell you is this is coming through from the fifth dimension. So a lot of the teaching is actually just your willingness and receiving, okay? How are you able to receive deep into your body? How, if you're not with your other counterpart, you know, if he's not with her and she's not with him, and you say, well, I'd really like to get together, we'll do it then. I'm going to say this to you. It is many times off the table until your connections are ready. I do talk to couples that are together, and yes, I have couples that are together. There are couples together, and my kudos to them because they are doing fabulous. But getting everything together still requires clearing things out and bringing in and receiving. So thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Remember, you will be wearing your own red blankie of passion. It's just for you, and it is delivered right from above. And many of you know what that feels like, and if you don't, you're in for a treat. What I will say about mission, there's only one. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, be willing to be the lover that you came here to be. Make the third energy. That's it. From the lovemaking, everything else flows. So thanks so much. Please subscribe. Please be willing to try out one of these. They're going to be in the description below. My website for those who want to contact me is www.twinflamesmerge.com. Thanks so much to everyone who has bought my webinars. You've given me great feedback on it. Bye now.